up, YouTube? Michael with Gnome Logistics here. This video is just going to go over some of the things that the new drivers here at Prime would want to look at on their truck to make sure that they're getting the best truck they possibly can. When you get your upgrade and they give you either a list, which since the trucks are so limited right now, they probably won't give you a list. They'll probably just give you one that you can go look at, and then you say yes or no to that one, and then go to look at another one, and so on and so forth. You know, when I did my upgrade, they gave us, I think, 3 days to sign the lease on the truck or go over all the stuff that's wrong with it. You can go up to the leasing office and they will print out a service report for the truck, so you can cross-reference that with any major issues that the truck has had, or any of the small stuff, just to make sure the maintenance has been well taken care of, which here at Prime, they take care of all the trucks. I mean, as far as their maintenance, they make sure that their guys are getting them done when they're supposed to. Other words, you just look on your app under your truck and you can see the different things that are needed, whether it's PM for your oil changes, your chassis lubes, your air filter changes, APU service, things like that. You know, I didn't go over my truck in-depthly, like if I known it was going to have all the issues that it's had, that I would have. Again, for those of you who haven't watched the other videos, I've had the transmission replaced. I've had the rear differential replaced. It basically blew up on me, fell apart. I've had the oil pan leak. My APU has been out quite a bit. My inverter has been out quite a bit. I just got it back out of the shop today for the APU and the inverter issue again. This is the second time that I've had an inverter issue to where I couldn't even plug in my fridge. So I've been out without a fridge for about like a month. Just waiting to get where I could get here and take care of the things I need to take care of. Anyway, everything looks to be running fine now. I got my APU working, my bunk heater's working, you know, and it's some stuff like that. They ask you to check your inverter, make sure it's working. They ask you to check all your lights, check, you know, everything. And you know, you got some underneath your bunk, you have some little accent lights, stuff like that. You want to make sure all that is working when you do this. You know, walk around the truck, make sure it's, you know, scratches, post them on your paperwork that they give you. Don't just go through and just check. Actually pay attention to what you're doing. Remember, this is something that you're going to be responsible for, and it is a big responsibility. But you don't want to be having to pay for stuff that you didn't do wrong to the truck, or that you didn't do. So lift the hood, look at everything, look underneath it. I mean, if you have to, bring a pair of coveralls with you, crawl underneath the truck, look to see if you see oil coming from the oil pan, you know, any leaks, stuff like that. You know, run your truck, start it up, let it run for a while. I mean, hopefully there'll be some fuel in it, so you won't have to go get fuel put in it. But let it run for a while. Listen. That's the best thing you can do, is just listen and, you know, take the time to make sure that everything is running right. Turn all your lights on in your truck. You know, hit all your buttons. See what happens when you hit the buttons in the truck. As far as your rear differential, the differential lock and stuff like that. Sup dump, suspension dump. Hit that, make sure it actually works. Make sure that none of your rocker switches are blinking. That would just show you that the rocker switch is bad. It would probably still work, but you know, you don't want to sit there and have a rocker switch blinking at you all the time. I have one right now, which is the hill traction control, or hill assist, I believe. And when it was blinking before, it was throwing all kinds of bad sensors throughout the truck. Again, I'm in a 2020 International, and from what I've been told, they are notorious for electrical issues, you know, ghosts in the machine, whatever you want to call it. You know, get under your truck if you can. I would recommend it. I didn't, but knowing what I know now, I definitely would have went underneath the truck and looked at everything. You know, put a pair of gloves on, pair of coveralls, crawl under there, touch everything, you know, wiggle it, make sure nothing's going on, nothing's happening that's not supposed to be. Basically just do a very good inspection on your own for what you can do. You know, just found out today that all my batteries, apparently one of my wires was broken underneath my battery connections. So I was basically running the truck off 2 batteries, just one bank, because they weren't connected to the other. So my APU, excuse me, when it was working, wasn't charging the batteries up the way it was supposed to. Therefore, it wouldn't charge let my inverter power. So that in turn wouldn't let me run my microwave or my refrigerator. You know, again, check your lights, wiggle them. I've had a couple times where my headlights have went out, and I've lifted the hood, and all I had to do was kind of wiggle it and reseat it, and the lights come back on. But you want to make sure all your lights are working. You want to make sure all your blinkers, everything. I mean, check every single thing you can. Every little scratch, every little dent, document it. I mean, you're not going to get in trouble for over documenting your paperwork. You may even want to take a photo of it, or try to get a copy of it somehow before you turn it in. That way you can see in the future that you didn't miss something. If you miss something, it's on you, because they do give you time to look over everything before you sign your paperwork. Lease operators, if you're going straight lease, definitely check every single thing you can. You know, run your AC, your inverter. They're going to tell you to plug something into it. I mean, all you're going to have on you is your phone, probably. That's what I had when I came and checked on mine, and I plugged in my phone and it charged fine, but the phone isn't a big enough draw off of the inverter to test it. As soon as I got into my truck and I got my refrigerator, and I was all excited, you know, move-in day, I guess you would call it. Kind of like getting your first apartment, you know, you're like, yes. Plugged in my refrigerator, and the inverter wouldn't work. Just wouldn't work. And it wound up being a fuse inside of it that was messing it up, from what the tech told me. Whether or not that was true, I don't know. But anyway, we got it back in, and it worked fine for almost a year. And then all of a sudden it just wouldn't power the fridge no more, and it definitely wouldn't power the microwave anymore. But that being, since the battery was disconnected and I didn't notice it, took a while for the technician in the shop to notice it too. I guess he went back there and started pulling on it and everything, and it just fell apart basically. Let's see what else. You know, note the seats, the condition of the seats. sit in them, make sure the air takes them up, takes them down. Listen for air leaks. I don't think I've been in a truck yet that doesn't have the air hiss for a couple seconds back behind the brake release valves. Turn the AC on, bunk heater. Even if you come out here in the middle of summertime and, you know, all that's going, it's hot as hell and you don't want to do the heat, I would turn it on just to make sure. And you're going to want to turn it on a couple times during the year anyway to just make sure it's working for you. The upper bunks in these trucks during the summertime get very hot. I mean, the APU really doesn't keep up with them. So if you are on a team truck for your TNT, which, you know, you are, of course, duh. So when you're on your TNT truck, if you're both parked, you're probably going to be on the top bunk. I don't know too many people or too many trainers that will let their trainee on the bottom bunk. My last trainee, I did. He was a bigger guy, but I didn't care. It was, you know, fall, so it wasn't too bad. That's also when the AC was working good, and that's when we were both, you know, sleeping. You know, if he was sleeping in the bottom bunk and I was driving and I had to stop to rest for a little bit, I'd hop up in the top bunk, take me a little 30-minute nap for my break, get up, get back at it, and go. But yeah, make sure you check everything. Note every little thing that you can. Use up the entire time that they give you to you know, check over everything. I know you're going to be all excited. You're going to want to get into it. You're going to want to get it and go. But you're gonna miss something if you don't pay attention, and you know, it could be costly. A lot of the stuff is under warranty. You know, from what I heard, the batteries today are under warranty, so I don't have to replace the batteries. They just replaced them. But most of my stuff has been under warranty. But you know, you got to remember, especially if you're an owner operator, you're paying for downtime. If your truck's in the shop, you can't sleep in your truck. So if you're out on the road, like I was in Iowa, was it Iowa? Yeah, Iowa, I think it was. And you know, I broke down and they replaced the transmission. That took a week, and that was over a weekend. So I was in the hotel, I want to say 9 to 10 days, and they did give me breakdown pay. Breakdown pay, I believe, starts after day 2, and that's only if it's okayed by the fleet manager, I believe, or the road assist, one or the other, I can't remember. But you know, check everything. It's going to save you a headache in the long run. You know, you stay in a hotel, yeah, it's a write-off, but it's coming out of your pocket. They're going to give you your breakdown pay, which may pay for your hotel, but it's not going to pay for, you know, the other bills that you have to pay, stuff like that. It's just going to be the bare minimum that you would need to maybe make your truck payment or something like that, or the hotel. Let's see, what else was wrong? You know, check your blinkers, check for brakes anywhere in the cabin. Make sure you have your seat buckle harness, or your belt buckle harness, whatever you want to call it, for if you were a team truck. Let's see, got the inverter. Make sure your fire extinguisher is fully charged. You know, make sure you have everything. Just make sure everything works. It's going to save you so much time and money in the long run. I mean, all in all, for this first year, with just little stuff happening, I mean, I had a slew of stuff go wrong. I had to been down total of maybe 5 weeks this year, which doesn't seem like much, but you figure most of that was things wrong with it that I had to have a hotel for. So you're looking at a couple grand I had to pay out of pocket to get my hotel room. And when I had a student, I paid for their hotel room also. And yes, it's like I said, it's a write-off for your business, but you have to come up with that money from somewhere. Make sure you start yourself a e-fund and a tire fund for your truck. I believe if you're a company that they do that for you. I'm not 100% on that. But if you lease, if you're a lease operator, you're going to want to start that. Just figure out what you can offer. You know, I think I put in like 20 cents a mile, something like that, maybe a little bit less. I've adjusted it a couple times, so I'm not sure. And then I also put that into the e-fund and the tire fund. You know, I don't want to have to pay for a whole set of tires if something goes wrong on the tractor. Let's see. Make sure you get all your stuff you're supposed to before you leave the yard. You'll have to go to the parts department and get oil, light bulbs, fuses, stuff like that. You're going to need your triangles. You're going to need your set of jumper cables. I would highly recommend. I've had to jump quite a few of the trailers out here because they didn't have enough power to start up. So you're going to want those jumper cables. I know a lot of guys have hoses for pumping up the tires and stuff like that. I mean, you can also do that at Love's if they have the excuse me, the tire lane. I think that's about all I've got. Again, you know, you're going to get in these trucks and you're going to want to just run and start making that money, start being able to provide for your family and everything. But just make sure everything's up to snuff, or you can't blame anybody but yourself. Yeah, that's all I've got. Remember, if you like the video, like, subscribe, and click the bell for updates and notifications. And I'll talk to y'all guys later. Thank you. Hey guys, just real quick, wanted to add, you know, wanted to show everybody a little bit of a look inside the back of the trucks. You know, everybody sets their truck up a little bit different. I really haven't done much to mine in the year that I've had this truck. So, you know, I got the stock stuff that came in it. As you can see, you know, there's my accent lights I told you about, and they're just push, so all you gotta do is push them and they go back on and off. Shorten this up a little bit. Let me turn it around. I'm gonna show y'all a little bit. All right, guys, so this is my bunk. You know, you got your gauges and everything. You got your radio at the bottom, and you got your temperature control for when the truck is moving. You have your floor lights, which are actually red. You have your sleeper dome, which will turn on that big main light right there. You know, you got a vent on both ends, so that works out. Where's that? There's that vent. That works out pretty well. One thing I don't like about this truck is the covers for the windows are Velcro, and that Velcro does unstick, and then you have to replace it when it gets cold or too hot. I've had to do this window quite a few times. Down here at this end, you know, which I don't like the way this is designed either, because this is where your head goes, or where my head goes. But then on this side, you know, you have a place. I just leave change and my charger wires. I do have a little air purifier, which sucks in some of the dust and stuff, because I think these trucks put out a lot of dust. And I think it comes from the APU and the AC unit. But there's your APU controls right there. You got a little reading light, a little push button right underneath the light that works pretty good. In this truck, you have baskets, and I just throw a bunch of different stuff up in there. Nothing. Got my clothes on that side. You have, let's see what these look like. I got my shelves here, you know, with different stuff in them. And then a little junk shelf up there. Other side, I had this cleaned out, but I've just added more food to it. My last trainee used this side. I emptied it out for him so he could have plenty of room to put his stuff. The top bunk for right now, I've got just my computer bag and, you know, some of the other stuff I've got, you know, my laundry bag, stuff like that. I decided to put my hats there because it's just easy to reach up and grab one in the morning. Even got my little hoodie, beanies up there. So the trucks really aren't that bad. They're not that great either. So, you know, just remember that. Another thing I don't like about this truck is they put that little display unit for your inverter back here. So you got that blue light back here all day, where in the Cascadias, they're up here out of your way, so you're not seeing them. I got me a little storage cabinet here, just a whole bunch of different stuff in it. And then, of course, my refrigerator and my inverter down here. My floorboard's dirty. I haven't cleaned it out today. Probably do that tomorrow. But, you know, gives you just enough stuff. You got a microwave. I got my microwave on this side because I didn't want it on top of my fridge. Don't know why. It just didn't seem right. But, you got the whole front portion here, you know. Got your ELD on here. You got all your rocker switches, stuff like that. Like I said, it's pretty basic in most of these trucks. You don't have a lot of room. If you're going team, you have less room. Not that that's a bad thing, you know, because usually there's only one of you back here at a time, unless for some reason you've had to had some downtime and you just both have to sleep at the same time. It's still not that big of an issue, but I do like my privacy and my own little space. You know, if I want to sleep in my underwear with the curtains open, then I'm gonna do it. You know, so if most of the time I'm by myself, but when I am with a team, you know, one's driving, one's sleeping, you got the curtain shut, you know, back here just snoring away. But living on the truck, it's different. If you're by yourself, you do have a little bit more freedom to do different stuff. So like when I was first by myself, I had a Foreman grill on here, and when my refrigerator was actually working, I would just buy some chicken, cut it up at home, freeze it, put it in the freezer here, thaw it out, throw it on the Foreman grill with some seasoning on it, and I would cook the whole pack at one time. And then I had some reheatable leftover boxes, or bento boxes, whatever you want to call them, to reheat my food. and you know, but you know, with the fridge and everything going out, and I think I've had to throw a lot of food away like 3 times already because my inverter and APU wouldn't work, and you know, that just starts wasting money at that point. So I haven't had a fridge in a while, but now that I got my APU and my inverter working again, I need to hit up Walmart tomorrow so I can get some stuff. You know, again, living in the truck isn't bad. Truck driving is not a hard job. It's just some people just mentally can't handle it. Physically, it's not hard at all, but mentally, you will be exerted. You know, constantly have to worry about traffic, worry about your time, worry about, you know, road closures during the winter time, stuff like that. It is a lot for your brain to take. But you know, like I said, in February, I'll be out on the road again, and I will be taking students again. So hopefully I can get a student on the truck. It'll be a new truck, hopefully a Peterbilt, but we'll see. Hopefully I can get a student on the truck, and you know, we can get them all the way through TNT without any issues with the truck, but we'll see. Again, thank you for watching, and y'all have a great day.